Okay, so I've had a YouTube channel for about 3 months now, and I've been uploading videos at about a rate of 1 episode a week, sometimes 1 episode every 2 weeks, because but I started it because I had found an outlet for my creativity for the first time in a long time, where I felt like I was actually capable of meeting the standards or meeting the requirements for actually putting out content. Part of it has to do with the fact that I had all these different tools on hand. I had a phone, obviously, which has a pretty great camera on it. I had this lighting kit because Jessica had purchased one to take pictures of her Etsy products. I had a tripod, courtesy of Jessica also, because she's really great at getting me gifts. And I had an iPhone attachment for the tripod, courtesy of my dad, which also came with a Bluetooth clicker, so I could actually sit down and just press record with the Bluetooth clicker for my phone. And I was so enthralled with this newfound freedom of creative expression that I started thinking about the content that I was creating and what I could do differently. Videos that I was making were basically, nerd culture, MCU, Star Wars, video games type reviews, which by no means do I dislike. I actually watch those videos on YouTube almost as much as I watch video editing tutorials nowadays. And while all those things are a lot of fun and I really enjoy making that kind of content, it really wasn't as fulfilling as I wanted it to be. Not long after I had started thinking about what else I should be doing and how else I should be expressing myself on YouTube, did I find this guy's videos. Now, maybe I had seen his videos in the past. I know I had definitely seen his face, but in this moment, at this time, it was exactly what I needed to see. The idea that I could use my life and simply my existence to provide value for not only myself, but potentially an audience was just mind-blowing. Being married with 2 kids and having a full-time job, yes, it would have been possible to do with my phone and my tripod and the lighting kit that I had on hand, but it was going to be more of a difficult process. And so I decided to, the check that the government sent me for stimulus, I spent on new vlogging gear. And Jessica's a pretty great wife because she went along with it. It wasn't an easy sell, but she's pretty great. She let me do it. So I got myself a gimbal. I got myself a little drone. I mean, you used to only be able to get shots like this if you were a filmmaker with a cameraman in a helicopter. And now look we've got these little mini remote control cameras attached to little helicopters that we can fly around to get these beautiful shots. And I got myself this camera and microphone because it has a display screen that flips outwards, and it came highly recommended so that I could actually view myself in frame without having to pop on the other side of the camera every time I wanted to make sure that I was actually getting the shot that I wanted to get. And since I'm primarily going to be shooting solo, this is a much added quality life improvement that I needed to have in order to produce content solo. And then I got all the components that I needed to build my very first PC, which would be powerful enough to actually edit the content. It was really kind of like base level improvements that I needed just to get this stuff off the ground. And I decided that I was going to use that as kind of like the launching point to start creating content and shooting footage the way that I wanted to shoot it for the purposes that I wanted to, branch out. And I think by the end of this very first vlog episode of mine, you'll be able to see an idea of what somebody can create just out of the gate with a beginning investment of about $1,400. A little bit more than that, but I also sold off some things to mitigate the expense, and could buy Xbox. But there's one thing that I've been dying to do since I've thought of all this, And that's actually kind of why I stopped off here, so that I could take care of something that I've been wanting to take care of for a while. So give me just a second, guys, and I will be right back. So I grew up with things like The Nutty Professor with, you know, Jerry Lewis and of course Eddie Murphy, and the idea of transforming from, you know, one thing into another, maybe that's why I like RPG video games so much, was really appealing to me. And of course the moral always turns out to be that, you know, don't try to change who you are, because trying to be something that you're not will always get you in more trouble. And that got me thinking about, really, the best thing that we can do is just try to become more like ourselves. All right.